out of here. And so this is spiraling into the classroom. And then some persons would have mentioned unfavorable social circumstances. So some persons are truly afraid to go out into the communities because of the violence and crime that exists there, and also because of pushback. For research question 2, we looked at cultural and social integration. And the question is, does involvement in sustainable education practice and global citizenship contribute to social and cultural development? And 100% of the interviewees or students felt that there's a need for greater cultural and social integration into the curriculum to promote an appreciation for diversity. And so that came out as one of our popular themes, that there should be this inclusion so that persons can appreciate diverse cultures and perspective. Also, to improve the skills and competencies so that they are able to navigate the diverse cultural environments. And colleagues, I wanted to pay close attention to this part. Students indicated that they would love to see more partnerships, especially international partnerships that foster collaboration on global issues. They want to be involved in more competitions and opportunities to study overseas through tertiary scholarships and grants. We also find that a lot of our number of our respondents say that they believe that this inclusion should be as a result of its impact on the appreciation for diversity and fostering things like love, empathy, respect, and inclusivity. Some of the soft skills that we would have mentioned, as well as cultural sustainability and improving civic pride. All right? And so some of our recommendations coming out of our studies that tertiary institutions could do more to foster volunteerism by encouraging more community involvement through projects and programs, expanding the opportunities to increase competition, conferences, and study abroad programs. The students want the opportunity to spend some time overseas with students in their field to get a broader knowledge of their area so that they can come back and impact the children here in Jamaica. Improve perceptions, because what we found is that some students believed that this was only for geography and social studies students, and so they weren't embracing so much sustainable education and global citizenship. And we also believe that the curriculum design should foster more sustainable practices such as projects, social justice, human rights, and advocacy. I close by saying that Teachers College could continue to foster volunteerism, and that incorporating sustainable development in the learning curriculum is crucial to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. As indicated by one lecturer, any country keen on reaching the global SDG would amend their curricula to meet societal needs. And this is supported by the literature that education for sustainability should be responsive to societal needs like ending poverty and promoting inclusiveness. And I leave by saying, colleagues, let us future-proof education. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Are there any questions? So there's a mic.
Thank you very much. I have two questions. One, did you find that lecturers understand what it means to be a sustainable education global citizen? Because if they don't understand that, because you're looking at how you create sustainable education and so on, but did you find that that was something they understand themselves and appreciate? Many times we talk about sustainability, we think it's an environmental construct, but it's a social construct, it is an economic construct. So I don't know, what did you get from them? Because many times when we say the curriculum at Teacher Training College, the curriculum is not just a document. There has to be some living person behind that document who will interpret and implement. And a curriculum is merely a guide. So I would like to hear what your views on that in terms of how did you find lecturers responding to that and their understanding of what sustainable education ought to be?
Okay. Thank you for that question, Dr. Anderson. Yes, I did get the understanding that the lecturers do understand what it really meant, because basically the lecturers indicated that one of the programs that they are basically doing is to allow persons who are in service now through programs with them. They are in service now, and what they are doing is they are allowing them to be trained in utilizing more sustainable practices. Some of them would be to encourage individuals to utilize more project-based learning, because what one lecturer indicated to me is that when they go out into the field to observe practice teachers and they see past students, what they see is just the traditional way of teaching, and they do ask the question, what about the projects? What is happening to help our students to want to gravitate more towards social studies, more towards civic pride? It should not be about only Jamaica Day, and the lecturer said that specifically to me. It should not be only about Jamaica Day and celebrating Jamaica during that period. It should be that the entire disposition of a Jamaican, what does that mean? When you walk out there, how do you represent Jamaica? And the lecturer wants all the students, especially past students, to be able to pass on that sort of information.
Just a final question to be disruptive. You should probably tell us what percentage of our faculty members actually participated in volunteerism anywhere, or do any such thing with the students. And I dare to tell you that some of our students are a reflection of who taught them. And we don't want to live up to that. But it is a reality that they are our products out there. We don't get involved. We're not part of any social group, any social club. We just go and say, this is the curriculum, you have an exam, I must teach you, you must pass, and that is it. And we are not encouraging. I usually say to my faculty members, can the students copy you and take you in the classroom, and will the classroom be a better place because they have copied you? I don't know if we can all say that it would be a better place, unfortunately.
All right, sir. Well, we looked at social studies, and we believe that there is the need for, further research. We do recognize, and lecturers would have indicated that they are so pressed for time with so many other operatives and so many other things that they perhaps would have to be engaging and managing and mitigating all the other things that they have to do. As a result, they do have the intention and want to do a lot more for sustainable education, but the time factor is still a challenge.
everybody will be fine with it. Any, yes, you wanted to add something? Okay, a question?
It's just that I want to just respond regarding how it is that the lecturers, if it is coming from what Dr. Anderson said regarding the copying and emulating the lecturer. So if it is that we want to stand up to say this is the epitome of what a global citizen should look like, and we can't find the time, and so, the students are going to come and replicate the same thing, and so it's going to be cyclic.
Thank you. Oh,
And that is good.
there's a mic.
But as Dr. Anderson asked you about how many lecturers you spoke to, 3. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, that was a part of the limitation. We do recognize that we needed to and again it's a time factor. But we do recognize that presents some limitation for the results, and this is why it's good to look further into this topic and continue to do some more research on it to inform future practice.
Thank you so much, ladies, for your presentation on the role of educational institutions in integrating sustainability and global citizenship principles into curricula to produce responsible, globally minded future professionals. And so we have some tokens from the Teachers Colleges of Jamaica. So I'm going to invite Ms. Stewart. And Mrs. Debian Peak Johnson.
One more.
This is it. Thank you.
So this is the one. You can. You can do your. You can. You want to bring it down? Bring it down when you're finished. There you go. It's this. We can start. I believe we just. Okay. That's great.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, colleagues. Now, this is the time I would have loved to say I'll see you tomorrow because this is the final session for the afternoon, but I'm asking you to just bear with us a little bit longer and let us finish this session. We also crave for your attention in terms of the seating position, and know that the panelists will be on your left, your right here. So it's going to be a little bit tilt your head to the platform. Now, officially, I just want to welcome you to our discussion on the theme Meet the Caribbean Members of the Editorial Board of Journalists. And I am your moderator for this session, Vivian Wilson, and I'll be guiding the conversations today. And the purpose of this discussion is to explore the experiences and insights of our esteemed panelists who served on the educational boards of various journals. So let me start. Deputy Director, Institute of Technological and Educational Research from the Michael University College, Sandra Gray Alvaranga is a doctoral candidate at the University of Toronto and a graduate of the University of the West Indies, where she earned a master's degree in government and a bachelor's degree in public administration and international relations with honors. She brings extensive expertise in academic research, policy analysis, and institutional development. As a founding member of the ITER team, Mistress Gray Alvaranga played a pivotal role in establishing a robust operational framework for the Institute and spearheaded the introduction of its research consultancy services to broader markets. Her contributions were instrumental in shaping the University College's research agenda, including the formulation of its research policy, the launch of the institutionalization of the Research Tuesday seminar series, and the revitalization of the Micro-University College Journal of Education. In her capacity as editor-in-chief, she continues to lead the journal's editorial direction, ensuring rigorous peer review standards and enhancing the visibility and impact of research output for the institution. Our second panelist, senior lecturer and language educator and certified teacher mentor at Excelsior Community College, passionate about nurturing young minds to develop as critical thinkers and use people management skills to establish cooperative professional relationships. Currently pursuing a MPhil PhD program in curriculum instructions at the University of the West Indies, Mona, and immediate past president of the Association of Graduate Researchers in Education in the School of Education. Served as the editor in the Research and Innovation Division. I present to you our presenters, Tamara Scott McFarlane and Dr. Sandra Gray Alvaranga. Right? Today, they will join by Dr. Michelle Black, who will be the interviewer for the afternoon. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon and welcome to our Meet the Editors session. We're so happy that you joined us today. We expected the room to be crowded because I know a lot of persons, when they do come to conferences and they write, they want to know what's next. And we're going to talk about what's next. And it's very rare that you have the opportunity to meet with editors of varied journals. They're like what you would consider to be the glass ceiling or the black box that you often hear about, that you need to publish or you'll perish, but nobody actually talks about the publishing process. So today we're going to have the opportunity to talk to two editors from two local journals. So let's go ahead and get started. So my first question is, could you please introduce yourself and share your background and experience that led you to become an editor?
Good afternoon, all. I am taking the liberty of being the first person, given that I'm in the audience, and thanks for staying. Much appreciated. Now, you got some information about me, but I need to let you know that I got into editing by default. My background is language education. I've been in education for the last 23 years, 16 years at the tertiary level. And at the time, I usually volunteer. Somebody has a letter to look at, I'll be volunteering to read it and to edit it. And with my experience, trained teacher in language education, my BAs in linguistics and my master's in language education, as well as having stepped into the world of higher learning and research and playing my part as the president of a research association, I really got excited about research. And so when I was asked to sort of read the abstracts, review things, that's when I came into the research and innovation division, and then was asked to serve as the editor. So it's really by default that I'm in this space.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sure most of us wouldn't have thought that. How about you, Sandra? Sandra, can you hear me? Okay. It seems that we don't have Sandra on board right now, but we'll go ahead with our discussion. So the next question is, what is the role of a journal editor? What do you believe is the role of a journal editor? Sandra, are you hearing me now? Okay, it seems like we're having a bit of technical issues. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue with the questions, and then we're going to get back to Sandra. Okay, number two, what is the role of a journal editor? What do you believe is the role of a journal editor?
Michelle, the role is multifaceted. So most times when persons, and I'm going to start from my experience as opposed to what happens out there. Now, most times when persons see an editor, they automatically assume that they're not doing anything. But a journal editor has multiple roles. So it starts from first looking at the scope of the journal that you wish to publish. So we're starting with that. They have to talk about policies, editorial policies. The journal editor is also responsible for identifying suitable manuscripts for those journals, creating the template for the journal that they want, and of course, going through all the nitty-gritties to ensure that whatever you put out there is impactful and it represents what your institution wants to accomplish.
Okay. Sandra, do we have you on board now? No? So could you tell us about, and could you describe your journal's scope and focus at ECC?
All right, so at Excelsior Community College, we produce two journals. Should I continue?
Continue.
So we produce two journals at Excelsior Community Colleges. They're meant to be annual journals. So the first one is our academic journal. For that journal, we invite manuscripts from various individuals, whether it's a research essay, it's an empirical study, it's a concept paper. We invite you to share that with us, and we edit and publish it in our journal. And then every year, the Research and Innovation Division produces at least 4 or 5 institutional research. And so we publish those in our Journal of Institutional Research. Now, if you notice what is being displayed here are samples of the actual printed academic journal, or institutional research journals are not necessarily printed. They are published online. So for our institutional research, we have our graduate tracer studies, or new student surveys, or student satisfaction surveys. So we want to make sure that we have those in a ready document that persons are able to access. And in the absence of Sandra, if I may continue, now, while our academic journals are available for all persons to purchase and access, or institutional research, understandably, many of our colleagues may not necessarily read it. Now, what we do is to produce what we call research snippets. So we'll pull elements of the institutional research and share it with them in sort of digestible format. If you go out there in the reading hub, you'll see samples of the snippets. So we try to make it pictorial snapshots so that our team members can see what is happening through the research and innovation division.
And we know how important it is. That is because we know how there's this perception out there that research is boring and it's too much. So when you have the snippets, you get that quick bite of information that people can easily read and understand. Sandra, are you with us?
I have been. I'm right here.
Oh, lovely. Okay, Sandra, could you please introduce yourself, share your background and experience that led you to become an editor?
All right. So I am with the Institute of Technological and Educational Research at the Micro University College. And our mandate is to get the University College research active, change the research culture, and to ensure that we have adequate products that people can actually express their findings in. So when I got here, when I joined this brand new team, which started in 2012, the Micro already had a journal, and I'm going to show it to you. It came out of basically the research days that they would have annually. And, you know, it was very much focused on action research for the most part, as well as to publish, to give an opportunity for master's theses to be converted into article format. So we thought that we would keep that element of having an output for our research conferences. So we have our annual research days, and those are thematic. So we would look at what is the big issue facing Jamaica in any given academic year, and our research day would revolve around that. From that, we would invite all of the participants, all of the contributors, all of the presenters to convert their presentations into articles. But when we got started, we decided to totally rebrand into the current journal format. So we moved from it being a fairly ad hoc exercise into it being a peer-reviewed publication. As I said before, it's pretty much thematic each year, and we want to impact national life. So it is very important to us to ensure that whatever theme we select, it is topical, it is relevant, and the findings from the journal are geared towards problem solving. My background is actually not in teacher education per se. I taught a number of years at the University of the West Indies, and my background is in public policy and international relations. So out of my public policy background, I am very into problem solving. And with the roundings from the UA background, that led me into this particular remit, where we were charged with developing the institutional assets of the Micro University College and developing our colleagues into making them research active, very comfortable with research, and to produce high quality work. I might be running ahead, but let me just finish explaining how we do things. Because we wanted something that was peer reviewed, we sought industry or academic experts in the field of whichever discipline we were looking at for the particular year. And then we basically asked every peer reviewer, it's a blind peer review process, to be nurturing in their approach, because we want the exercise to be very developmental. So in the first year of our peer review journal, the reviewers were very gracious. It wasn't like when you go to these international institutions and you just get a note saying rejected. We didn't do that. We wanted to ensure that we provided quality feedback, give adequate time for corrections for those persons who were interested in having their materials published. And then we would proceed with the editorial process of ensuring that the, all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, the grammar is perfect, to give us a finished product of which we can be proud and stand by. Have I clearly answered what you've asked?
Oh, yes, Sandra. But I have one more question for you. What types of papers does your journal typically publish? What type of papers?
Have we lost each other?
What type of papers does your journal typically publish? Okay, I'll ask Tamara in the meantime. Okay, one more time. What types of papers does the journal typically publish? What types of papers does the journal typically publish?
We publish a range of things. We will take book reviews, we will take action research, we will take empirical studies, and of course, everything has to be converted into article format. On a rare occasion, we may choose to represent a fuller manuscript, dependent on the depth of the information being presented and the importance of the actual topic. But for the most part, we will take, as I said, book reviews, empirical research, converted theses, action research, pretty much anything providing it aligns with the required theme and the findings are relevant and the research is well done.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Tamara?
So like Michael University, we take all types of publications, all types of material. What if I what is happening on the ground, and because of that hesitance, you find that we are so it's now
Okay. So let's get down to the crux of things. What are what key factors do editors look for when reviewing manuscripts? What do you look for tomorrow?
All right. So we start with the incident. We need to ensure that the book is relevant and complete. We're operating in a change management. We want to ensure that we're connecting all students, all customers, all our constituents at a granular level. So, our staff members, are you talking to them about something that is basic them? Are you looking at pedagogy? Are you looking at things that is important within that phase that you recognize that
Okay, Sandra, what ethical issues do you frequently encounter during the editorial process?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Did you hear the
Are you
question?
hearing me?
Yes, we are. Please go ahead. Did you hear the question, or would you like me to repeat the question?
Can you repose the question, Mr. Edwards?
What ethical issues do you frequently encounter during the editorial process?
Okay, so the main issues that we find relate to more improper citation rather than deliberate ethical issues. So I would rather think that